Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today I'm going to be doing an anime review on Chuunibyou Season 2. Wow, this episode, even though a lot of people look at it as, I guess, a filler episode, and probably would piss off a lot of fans of this series, which in an aspect, it should have made me mad, but I felt like this episode did have a lot of character development, plot progression, and it made this episode really enjoyable from the antics we got to see, especially a really interesting plot twist right at the end. So anyways, let's get into the cold hard facts of what the actual plot was in this episode. For one thing, the episode pretty much entirely focused around Deku Mori and Nobutani and the relationship, and getting to see the Stalker-chan actually just crushing all over Deku Mori, faking to be the actual Mori Summers, and it was some really good actual scenes in this episode, especially with all the Yuri moments. But one major actual thing I saw in this episode that a lot of people probably missed completely in this episode was the scene to when you see Rika try to actually go into like the battle sequence and she couldn't in the shrine section. I was actually shocked when she says, "Oh, this shrine hates me," and when she remembers that Sophia is staying true to like a devil girl, and I was thinking like, it's already happening. As I hypothesized last episode, I pretty much stated most likely Rika is going to lose her Chuuni powers to where she actually develops out of that, where she can actually be a normal human being or a normal girl. At the same time, it would probably upset a lot of fans, but at the same time, it's a very good, actual positive progression for her character. So getting to see this is definitely going to probably add some form of emphasis on drama, because we get to see how she couldn't even do any type of battle scenes in this episode, so I was actually incredibly shocked with that. So that was something a lot of people would miss, but maybe that's what that entire scene emphasized. But now let's get on to the actual, I guess, character development of what this episode really tried to do with our two little cute side characters. One thing I was completely taken back was with all the Yuri in this episode. From the freaking ear-nibbling scene of Stalker-chan on Deku Mori that seems like she's about to freak out and cry, to the tsundere moment right at the end of the episode of getting to see Deku Mori and Nobutani. Looks like I just want to ship them together and see them kiss once again from the OVA Christmas special. I felt like the actual romance of the side characters were kind of handled properly. Even though this was a filler episode, I actually enjoyed it, and it actually doesn't feel like a filler episode. I mean, if we look back, I think it was episode 3, we had another Deku Mori and a Nobutani episode, but all the actual development with the characters got reset at the last minute. But with this episode, you actually get to see development to where you see Deku Mori actually understanding Nobutani a lot better. Like, even though she knows she's a fake, she actually cares for her, she loves her, and she's upset when, you know, Nobutani is trying to act like she's just completely forgetting herself as Mori Summers. And I love that actual progression with the characters, because we see how much they truly care for each other. Like, for instance, Nobutani, even though she puts down Deku Mori in the entire fight, she actually says she enjoys her company, and loves to be around her. So what I'm getting at is, even though these two characters have a lot of arguments and just, you know, they fight all the time, they're a great couple and pair, and I feel like they actually work together as characters, and we really see the actual progression with them in this episode. So I feel like KyoAni actually did these scenes properly. Now let's talk about the animation. Once again, this animation of this episode was almost completely flawless, and I actually enjoyed the battle sequence. I usually always love the battle sequences, but what made this battle sequence so different from others was because we finally get to see Mori Summers freaking in a battle sequence, fighting a fake version of herself, an evil version that is corrupt, and wants freaking Sonya or Deku Mori for herself. So that was an amazing and intense scene. Freaking KyoAni did a great music soundtrack in this episode that really emphasized the actual tension. I mean, I would love to see a spin-off of this series just completely on the battle scenes, because it would be just so amazing to watch. But, I mean, that's just hopeful wishing. I mean, we all can't get what we want, but, I mean, it would be awesome if KyoAni actually tried to do something like that. But anyways, I felt like this episode was a very positive episode. If you're not a fan of Deku Mori or Nobutani, you most likely would actually despise this episode. I mean, you would probably downright just hate this episode. But if you could look over the facts of Deku Mori's deaths every time after a sentence, or just certain character flaws to the characters, you could probably actually enjoy this episode for what it stands for, and I think that's why I actually enjoyed it. There was a lot of comedy aspects and just all-around cute moments. This could be the end of my anime review on Chuunibyou Season 2 this week. Tell me your thoughts on this episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? And if you hated it, please let me know your opinions below. Did you hate it because of the characters, or did you hate it because the actual romance plot didn't develop with Rika and Yuta this episode? Anyways, you all wonderful day and out wherever you live. Please stay safe, everybody. I love you. Chibi out.